Writing introductions can be the most difficult part of an essay. Unfortunately for many students, since we're writing it first, it can cause us to burn out, give up, and simply abandon hope. In those cases, it's best to stick to a fairly straightforward formula. In essence, you need to remember that your intro needs to include a hook, a lead-in that gives background information, and the thesis. The good news is that at least a simple version of that can all be found in most prompts. And so if you're really struggling with an intro, turn to the prompt. This opening piece is going to give you a lot of information for your attention grabber and your lead-in. The task section is going to help you make clear your thesis statement. So in this case, I'd read through this little opening part of the prompt, and I'd see that we're talking about here these major events in world history. And so maybe I would say how history can be defined by some of the most pivotal moments in the past. Certain events are so significant that they have caused changes to ripple across time. And I'm essentially taking this first sentence and putting it into my own words. Notice I'm breaking it into two different sentences, choosing a couple of key ideas, and changing things up a little bit. I'm also trying to write a statement that, while it might not be jump out of your chair as exciting, it at least gets the audience to think. What are some of those moments? Really clever language there. So these types of things hook your audience in. From there, you start to narrow things down. And again, you can use this to give yourself some ideas. All right, we're talking about our unit essential question, dramatic events in the Middle Ages, right? And we can take that same stance. And again, that's a very similar statement. I've just changed the order and some of the words a little bit. Now I might be able to give some of the examples we've studied. So a few examples that help us out, and then I can actually get on to the Black Death. Maybe I'll use the ideas from my title here. I feel like there's maybe just one jump here. This is essentially my thesis statement. So perhaps in between, I put a simple transition that states, and so I'm just introducing that before I talk about the specifics we're going through. And voila, in a couple of moments, we've used one major piece to actually construct our intro. For many students, this is helpful because you're building off of something you already have. Introductions are difficult because so much of it is supposed to come from your head and be thinking about the audience that you're almost creating something out of nothing. This sort of strategy can make a huge difference if you don't know where to begin.